Greetings, everybody. It's Jeffrey Goodeman, and we're ready for Strat-O-Matic 1969 baseball. And we're ready for the big night game here, big evening game, starting at 5 o'clock. It's fantasy, so we can call this a night game if we want to. It's the San Francisco Giants at the St. Louis Cardinals. The Giants come into this 4 games behind the first place Atlanta Braves and St. Louis, and they're in second place. St. Louis 7.5 behind the first place Pittsburgh Pirates. They are in third place. Either way, it's an important game for both teams. It's 2 greats on the mound, Mike McCormick for the Giants and Steve Carlton for the Redbirds. And in just a few minutes, I will be back with our starting lineups and the first pitch of this ball game. And we thank you for joining us. Stand by. Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman, Strat-O-Matic, Baseball Network, with our 1969 replay. Coming right at you. For this game, I'll be having some Blueberry Headband, which is a hybrid. It's got 19.937% THC, and Kathy Harden has arrived for our night game. It's a fantasy replay, and therefore I can call this a night game if I want. I gotta tell you all something. I was morbidly depressed and worried today, and then I took some actions. Oh boy, does that smell good. Look at that. I want to have you just take a look at some of these. Look how nice those are. Isn't that pretty? This is good shit. And please save the stigma. This is medical cannabis. I don't need anybody giving me any shit. Okay. I really don't. Oh, I got a little in here too. It's ready for my first hit. We'll wait till 5. Let's do our starting lineups for the San Francisco Giants. Leading off, it does look good, Kathy. Absolutely. For the San Francisco Giants, leading off and playing right field is Bobby Bonds. Batting second at second base, Ron Hunt. Batting third in center, Willie Mays. Batting fourth at first, Willie McCovey. Batting fifth and catching is Dick Dietz. The usual catchers are not available, Jack Hyatt and Bob Barton. So they have a third catcher, Dick Dietz, and I'm going by the exact lineups using Baseball Reference. Batting sixth in left field, Ken Henderson. Batting seventh at third, Tito Fuentes. Batting eighth at short, Hal Lanier, and the pitcher, a left-hander, Mike McCormick. For the St. Louis Cardinals, Lou Brock is out with a groin injury. So they have someone who's getting their first start today to play left, and that will be Byron Brown, and he bats sixth. Batting first at second will be Julian Javier. Batting second in center, this is the exact lineup, Kurt Flood. Batting third in right field, Veda Pinson. Cleanup hitter, Joe Torre. Batting fifth at third, Mike Shannon. Batting sixth, Byron Brown in left. Tim McCarver batting seventh, and catching Dal Maxville batting eighth at short. And the pitcher, Steve Carlton, a left-hander. The Giants won the first of this 4-game series 4-1. Then the Cardinals won the second game, and some of you may remember it. I can remember it without looking. They won 2, which is rare for me. They won it 2-0. It was scoreless going into I think it was the bottom of the 9th. And Mike Shannon hit a walk-off 2-run home run to win it for Gibson. And the loser, I believe, was Gaylord Perry. We are about a minute away from the first pitch. Steve Carlton has taken the mound. Waiting for the link, the tweet. I was morbidly depressed and worried today, and I took actions. And I also took a Klonopin, and I'm feeling a little better. It's not easy being emotionally disturbed. That was a great game, Kathy, wasn't it? Oh, Lord. Okay, the tweet should be up. Let's go check that out. There it is. And it's a beauty, too. Yeah, that's a beauty. That's a frickin' beauty. A frickin' beauty indeed. And the St. Louis Cardinals take the field. Setting up the Cardinals defensively, Joe Torre at first, Julian Javier at second. Mike Shannon at third. Maxwell at short in the outfield, left to right. Byron Brown, Kurt Flood, and Veda Pinson. Carlton on the mound. McCarver catching. And here comes Bobby Bonds to lead it off. Beautiful evening here at Busch Stadium. Carlton gets the sign from McCarver. He's ready now. And here's the pitch to Bobby Bonds. 4-5. And it's hit deep. Oh my, Bonds, that's out of here. Right off of Carlton. Bobby Bonds with a leadoff home run. What a way to start here in St. Louis. Bobby Bonds hits it out. Let's not forget Bonds, a 30-30 man. 32 home runs, 45 stolen bases. I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with that. So Bonds, on the first pitch from Carlton, sends it to Palookaville, and it's 1-0 Giants. And here comes Ron Hunt. Carlton is ready. Here's the windup, the pitch to Hunt. 112, struck him out. That's one down. And now Willie Mays. It's always unsettling. You throw your first pitch and have it sent into the rafters. But Carlton trying to settle down now. Two future Hall of Famers, Carlton and Mays. Carlton is ready now. Here's the windup. And the pitch to Mays. 2-7. He grounds it to second, and that's 2 away. And now Willie McCovey. Carlton gets the sign from McCarver, and that's fouled down to third base line. Okay, Steve is ready. Here's the windup. The pitch to McCovey. 6-6. The grounder to second. Up with it is Javier. Throws over to Torrey. And the side is retired. But there was one run on one hit. The leadoff home run by Bobby Bonds. And after a half an inning, it's San Francisco 1. And the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. Here's Big Mike McCormick for the Giants. Both of these teams in contention. Giants 4 games out in second place behind Atlanta. St. Louis 7.5 behind the amazing Pittsburgh Pirates in third place. And leading it off is Julian Javier. McCormick is ready. Here's the windup. The pitch to Julian. 5-10. Grounds it to short. That's for Lanier. A 2. 1-2, it's a base hit for Javier, opening up the bottom of the first. Julian on first, and Kurt Flood is the batter. McCormick throws a called strike to Flood. It's Javier on first. Make sure not to toke at least every 2 innings. I don't want you to lose me here. Okay, McCormick is ready from the stretch against Flood with Javier on first. Here's the pitch to Flood. 5-6, fly ball center. That's Mays under it. He makes the catch, and that's 1 away. Now here comes Vada Pinson. Lefty here. Just underway in St. Louis. Bonds opened it up with a home run, if you're just joining us, in the top of the first. Javier singled, Flood flew to center here in the bottom of the first for St. Louis. Here's the pitch to Pinson. 3-6, and that is a base hit for Pinson, right up the middle. Javier goes to second and holds. And we're hoping that we're trying to stay away from war zone semiotics. But it's first and second, one out. And here comes Joe Torre now. McCormick from the stretch with first and second, one out. And it's fouled back. Strike on Torre. If you're out there, we'd like to hear from you in text. Subscribe to the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. It's fouled back again. 0-2 on Torre. Okay, McCormick from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 1-4, and that's a ground ball to short. Lanier forces Pinson at second, and Javier moves on to third. So it's 2 outs with Javier on third. And here's Mike Shannon, big hand for Mike, after the walk-off that won it 2-0 against Gaylord and the Giants in the last game. Here's McCormick. First and third, 2 down. And the pitch to Shannon. He walked him. So the bases are loaded with Redbirds and 2 away. And here comes Byron Brown getting his first start of the season for Lou Brock, who has a groin injury. He is suited up, he's available, but they prefer not to put any strain on that. Here's McCormick now, the pitch to Brown. 2-8, and that is a base hit for, oh no, it's a grounder stopped by McCovey. Steps on the bag and the side is retired. Beautiful play by McCovey. 2-8. Lefty, 1-15. It goes through, but McCovey stops it with a 19. No runs, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 left on after 1. Giants 1, Redbirds North. And here comes Steve Carlton now. And the first batter is Dick Dietz. He had 244 at-bats. I haven't seen too much of him this season, but I'm expecting that they're going to be using Dick Dietz with their other catchers hampered, if they're hampered. Here's Carlton now. The pitch to Dick. 5-8, grounder to second. That'll be Julian scooping and throwing him out. So Dick Dietz is retired. And here's Ken Henderson, switch hitter, batting right. We're so glad to have you here on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, featuring the Strat-O-Matic 1969 replay, July 26, 1969. This is the last game of July 26. Tomorrow, we start with July 27, and it's already posted for a nice 8:45 a.m. start. Have your coffee ready. Ken Henderson, batting right-handed with 1 out, nobody on. Here's Steve. And the pitch, 5-4. Grounder to third. Shannon throws him out. 2 away. So after allowing a home run to Bonds, he has retired the next 5 Giants. And here's Tito Fuentes playing third base today. That's low for a ball to Fuentes. 2 outs, nobody on. Top of the second, 1-0 Giants. And that's in there for a called strike, 1-1 on Tito Fuentes. Carlton winds. And the pitch, 2-2. And it's a grounder to third. Shannon has it, throws to Torrey, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve, and he's retired 6 Giants in order. And after 1.5, it's still 1-0 Giants. And here comes Mike McCormick out. Mike got into some trouble, loaded the bases with 2 outs, and got out of it when Brown grounded to first, and McCovey made a beautiful, beautiful frickin' play. We're in the bottom of the second. Tim McCarver, lefty. Here's McCormick. That's 6-7. Walked him. Second walk given up by McCormick today. Now it's Dal Maxfield, right-handed hitter. Steve comes out on deck. Pitch to Dal. 4-7. Pops it up to short. Lanier is under it, 1 down. And here comes Steve. Steve is a 3 NL. 4 in the field. 1 out, McCarver on first. Here's the pitch to Carlton. 5-2 lefty, and that is a, beautiful catch by Hunt at second base. It was a line drive, and Hunt dove and got it on the 5-2 against the lefty. He went to 14-18. Caught by Hunt, 2 down. And Julian Javier, top of the order. A lot of action in these first 2 innings. Starting off with Bonds' home run on the first pitch from Carlton. Julian up there with 2 outs and McCarver on first. Here's McCormick from the stretch. And the pitch to Javier, 3-5. And he chops it back to McCormick. Throws over to Willie McCovey, and that side is retired. And there were no runs, no hits. A walk to McCarver, left on base. We've gone 1-0 Giants. Going to move to the top of the third. It will be Lanier, McCormick, and Bobby Bonds again. Steve is retired, 6 in order after allowing the home run to Bonds. Steve Carlton's still alive. Lanier, a switch hitter, will bat right against Steve. Okay, Steve is ready. Here's the pitch to Lanier. 3-12. And that is a base hit for Lanier. Against the lefty, 1-9. We got a 7 over there. So Lanier singles. And Mike McCormick steps in. He's a 6 NL. And he's an A bunter. The infield is in looking for the bunt. He'll be a B if he lays it down. Here. Here's the pitch to McCormick. Yeah. 1-2. He flies it to left for the out. I alternate. You know, I'll bring the infield in for McCormick when he's an A bunter. And half the time I'll bunt, half the time I won't. And that way, if he gets a plus X, I don't see any on his card. Look at that. A plus like that or something. There's a plus right there. 1-8. Then that'd be a base hit, 2 asteroids. So I sort of play with myself with that. Meanwhile, he flew to left. It's 1 out, infield back. Lanier on first. And here's Bobby Bonds again. Bonds hit the home run. First pitch off Carlton today. Here's Carlton now. The pitch to Bonds. Yeah. 3-6. And it's a base hit to left for Bonds. Lanier goes to second. 1-12. And he will hold. First and second, 1 out. Bonds, a nice piece of hitting there. A base hit to left. It's 1 out, first and second. Here's Ron Hunt. Mays comes out on deck. Carlton from the stretch. And the pitch to Hunt, 4-7. And that is a base hit for Ron Hunt. But Lanier will have to stop at third. The bases are loaded with Giants off of Carlton today. Look at that. Base hit 1-9, and it was a 7. 3 singles. 1 out. And here's Willie Mays. Willie grounded to second in the first. Steve trying to get out of this now. Carlton, the pitch to Mays. 1-5. He struck him out. And that is the second strikeout for Steve Carlton today. I hope you don't mind my style this evening. It's a little different. It's just helping me do this, if you know what I mean. This is more than just Strat-O-Matic, folks. Strat-O-Matic is a culture. Strat-O-Matic is a lifestyle. This is more than just playing a game, folks. This is passing the time and enjoying it. It's 2 outs, bases loaded, and here comes Stretch. He takes a cold strike. Big Stretch McCovey, it'll be lefty-lefty. He grounded to second. Carlton in a jam. Trying to get out of this, and that's fouled back to the left field stands. Okay, Carlton ready now. Digs in at the stretch. The pitch to McCovey. 5-3. Grounds it back to Carlton. He's a 4. Oh, Lord. 11-4. And it's a 2-base error for Steve Carlton. Oh, Steve. Lanier scores. Bonds scores. That's got to be a throwing error. They're both unearned. No run batted in. And I don't believe that I need Stephen Parada here to confirm that. He's not here. We like to have our official scorer, but look at that. Oops, I wrote a 2 there. It was a, wait a minute. Let's look at that again. 5-3. It was back to the box by Steve. There it goes. And Sean has arrived. Sean, it's great to have you. Just missed a real sad play. It was bases loaded, 2 outs for the Giants, leading 1-0 after Bonds hit a home run off the first pitch from Steve Carlton. Carlton has bases loaded, 2 down. The ball, McCovey hits the ball right in front of the right at Carlton. Carlton bobbled it and then threw an offline throw to first, and he's lucky it was just a 2-base error. 2 runs came in. I have a theory that I'd like to share with all of you, namely that if the pitcher makes an error, then it should be an earned run. Think about it. Think about the logic before you start arguing it. Now, I'm just kidding. It's just one of those little things I like to throw out, like changing to 3-inning games with 9 outs each and other tidbits. So it's a 3-0 ball game. And here comes Dick Dietz. Dick. And Steve having a tough time today. Here's the pitch to Dietz. 6-7, fly ball right. This should end the inning. Pinson is under it, and the side is retired. But there were 2 runs. They were unearned runs. 3 singles. And then with 2 outs, a 2-base error by Carlton, scoring Lanier and Bonds. And we're in the middle of the 3rd here. And it's a 3-0 ball game. And here's big Mike McCormick, meanwhile, milking this lead. Curt Flood steps in. Okay, well, that's good. It's on wild pitches. Stephen Parada has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Parada, our official scorer. Now, we don't count on him on everyone. By the way, Steve, in your absence, I made these both unearned. 2 outs, the 2-base error by Stephen. We're heading to the bottom of the 3rd now. Curt Flood will lead it off. Mike McCormick on the mound. Here's the pitch to Flood. 6-5. He walked him. So Flood takes first to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Here's Vada Pinson now. Singled, was out in a force. Here's the pitch from Mike. 3-9. There's a base hit to right for Vada Pinson. Second single of the game. Flood goes to 3rd. We got -4 on Bonds, making Flood a 1-12. He'll hold. So it's 1st and 2nd with nobody out. The Cardinals have their own threat going. Down by 3 with no outs, 1st and 2nd. Joe Torre. Been a lively ball game thus far. Here's McCormick now. And the pitch to Joe. 1-8. Struck him out. Oh, that was a nasty pitch. The first strikeout by McCormick. And here's Mike Shannon. Hometown darling after the walk-off. You probably remember it, Stephen. That's right. It sounds like a Mets trade. By the way, On Baseball Reference, Brock did not start. He pinch ran for Carlton, but he did not start. And I'm going to say it's because he has a groin injury. It's first and second, one out. Mike Shannon at the plate. Here's McCormick. 1-7, and that's a single to the right side. Runners advance. Flood stops at third. Its bases loaded. Look at Mike Shannon moving it along. So bases are loaded, one out. McCormick now, he's at base runners up his ass today already. I think he had bases loaded in the first with 2 outs. There's 1 out now. And Byron Brown in for the groin-injured Lewis Brock. Steps in. Here's the pitch to Byron. 5-8. Lines it to short. Caught by Lanier. Nice catch by Hal. And that's going to be 2 away on a 5-8. Lined right out there. 2 down now. And here's McCarver. Carver walked to lead off the second, was left on base. McCormick trying to get out of this. 1-11. And there's a base hit to right. Flood scores. Pinson stretching. 1-15, 2 outs, 1-17, -4, 1-13. He's coming home. Here's the throw from Bonds. And Pinson is safe. Wait a minute. 1-15, 1-17, -4, 1-13. He's out! Whoa! Hunt is arguing the play. I'm sorry, Pinson is arguing the play. Let's look at that again slowly now. It's 2 outs, bases loaded. Here's the pitch from McCormick. A 1-4 on McCarver, left-handed. Wait a minute. No, I re-rolled the whole thing already. But he's out. McCarver gets a run batted in, and the side is retired. So, what a wacky inning there. Pinson coming home and Bonds throwing him out. Wow. Bonds with the home run and now with the assist. And the side is retired. We're going to head to the top of the 4th. There's a lot of action in this game. And here comes Steven now. Steven had not had a Steven day. I expect Carlton to throw 19 strikeouts. I mean, you know, this is not... And he did it that year, didn't he, if I'm not mistaken? I don't know exactly which year it was, and at the time he set the record. Someday someone will get 27 strikeouts. Well, here's Ken Henderson, switch hitter, batting right against Steve. Steve has had his troubles today. Here's the pitch to Henderson. There's 1-8, and he flies it to center, 1 down. Now Tito Fuentes. Lord. Here's Steve Carlton now. Pitch to Tito. 2-5 on Tito. And that's hit long. And it's in the gap. Tito rounding for extras. He's going for 3. And he slides in head first with a triple. Tito Fuentes off of Carlton. 2-5. 1-14. So with one out, Fuentes on third, everybody. And Hal Lanier is the batter. Here's the pitch to Lanier. 6-11, right-hander, fly ball right. That'll be Bonds. 9-2. And that's a double off a 2. Fuentes comes home. Lanier with a double. And it's 4-1 Giants. Let's not forget how good the Giants are. They were in second place. Did it happen? You gotta be shitting me, Steven Parada. Class D ball. Did he ever make the majors? Jesus Christ. It's madness. Well, Lanier with the double, bringing home Tito Fuentes. And here's Mike McCormick with Lanier on second, 1 out. Some wild stuff going on today. Just lots of hitting, lots of big hits, lots of action on the base paths. Here's McCormick. I'll tell you, Steve is on borrowed time. 5-5, left-hander. He walked him. And there's action in the St. Louis bullpen. This happened to Seaver. Some of you may recall. The bullpen is quite rested. I will tell you that. And also, the bullpen is quite limited. Really. The freaking nerve they have given us this kind of roster. And we have to freaking guess who's going to come in. I got Torres and Justy are both available. They're both starters and relievers. Neither is emphasized. I'm not going to bother to look at the stats. They're both right-handers. And they're both freaking warming up. They need the warm-up anyway. Even if we keep Carlton in, they have not seen action since before the... briefly for the Pirates. Oh, shit. That was in the 50s. Christ. Okay. You know your shit, I'm telling you. I know a few things too, Stephen. I was an encyclopedia when I was a kid, but, you know, I haven't kept up. But you really, I've never met anyone with quite this spotty of knowledge. Here's Bobby Bonds, first and second, 1 out. Carlton, huge trouble today. Here's the pitch to Bonds, 3-5. And that is, oh, that's a base hit. Oh, Lord, right up the middle. Lord, and the bases are loaded. Carlton getting smashed today. 3-5, and there's not a lot you can do about that. That's a 1-5 with a 3. All you can kind of do is shake your head and say, you know what? Baseball is a nutty game. They say it's a game of inches. Now the bases are loaded with 1 out. And here's a guy I like, Ron Hunt. He's good to have on your ball club for a lot of reasons. And he's a good second baseman. The bases are loaded, 1 out. Here's the pitch to Hunt. 6-5, struck him out. That's the second time Steve got Hunt on strikes, and it's his third strikeout for the day. And now it's going to be future Hall of Famer Willie Mays. And remember, folks, we're in this state. This is time travel. Okay? This is going back in time through a rabbit hole. 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. Nowhere to put Mays. McCovey on deck. Here's the pitch. 5-5. Struck him out! And Steve ends the inning strongly. Maybe we not count this guy out so fast. There was 1 run scored on 3 hits, a single, a double, and a triple, 2 left on. And that was earned, baby. It's 4-1 Giants. Big Mike McCormick takes the mound here to face the Cardinals in the bottom of the 4th. This is night game. This is Sunday night. Not Sunday night. It's Monday night. Strat-O-Matic 1969 baseball on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, SPN. And, you know, it's all fantasy. I have 5:39 p.m. Now, yeah, Wise didn't fare well after that trade. You know, Carlton was great on the Phillies, I believe. I think he was Cy Young or had most wins or something one year with the Phillies. I could be wrong. I remember that. It's a 4-1 ball game. We're here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. I don't know why they do those pitcher-pitcher. Could be their attitudes. You know, you remember when McDowell and Gaylord were swapped. Gaylord thrived in Cleveland after the DH, and, well, Sam just sort of faded away. He was never the same pitcher when he came to the Giants. I could be wrong. Dal Maxwell will lead it off here in the Cards. Home half of the 4th. I'm going to need to get some water after the game. Like I said, I was in morbid emotional pain with depression and worry earlier today, and I took some actions to try to deal with it, the things I'm worried about, and then I took a Klonopin. And now I'm taking weed, and I'm feeling, I also called a friend, and I'm feeling markedly better. Here's Dal Maxwell facing Mike McCormick. It's 4-1 Giants. Great ball game. I'm enjoying the atmosphere. Here's the pitch to Maxwell. 5-8. And he lines it to short, caught by Lanier. 1 down. Here comes Steve. Back in the day, to you youngsters out there, back in the day, these starters, like a Steve Carlton, was meant to complete a game, if not at least go into late innings. That's our expectation, and therefore that's why he hits here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. We hope he'll settle down. He struck out the last 2, Hunt and Mays. Pitch to Carlton, 1-5, grounds it to short, Lanier, over to Stretch, 2 down. Stretch McCovey, the real-world MVP in the National League in '69. Here's Julian Javier, 1 for 3. McCormick walks off the mound for a moment, fiddling with some shit in his spikes. He's set now, back on the mound. He looks in. He's set. And the pitch to Julian. 2-5. Base hit up the middle for Julian. You know, Julian Javier, Dal Maxwell, he hit under 269, was hurt a lot of the season. But Javier, Maxwell, Shannon were really mainstays, and they had Cepeda at first, didn't they? On the 67 and 68 teams. And with Flood and Brock in the outfield and the pitching they had, no wonder they won those goddamn pennants, huh? So it's Javier on first with 2 down, and they were favored by a lot of pundits to win the division in '69. I've seen documentation about that, and that would make sense. But Cepeda was gone. Javier, well, Maxwell was off. The pitching was not quite what it was. But you have Gibson and Carlton. How can you not win the pennant? Come on. Here's Kurt Flood. 2 outs, Javier on first. Oh, yeah, no ghost runners, no nothing. Yeah, that's horseshit. Double 1-2, it's a base hit. Javier will go to third. 2 outs, first and third. 3-7. So the Cardinals have another shot at it. I mean, I saw a game today. I had part of it on my cable. It was the Miami at Tampa Bay, and I think they were actually in Tampa Bay, which is bizarre in spring training, but I guess it is in that region. And the game took 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I guess there is some, it's working. Let me just say, the clock is working. Okay. Here's Pinson now, first and third, 2 outs. McCormick in a jam, Cards with an opportunity. Here's the pitch to Veda. 5-7, and he chops it to second. That's for Hunt, he's at 2. And Ron Hunt throws him out. Pinson is retired and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, and both left on, so McCormick got out of that. And here comes Steve. Big test for Steve. Are you having a bad night, or did you just have a bad 4 innings? We're counting on Steve here. Oh. Oh. Here comes Willie McCovey. Oh, lucky Steve. Lucky Steven can first get tested on Willie McCovey. And remember, McCovey 0 for 2. He grounded to Carlton, who made a 2-base error that scored 2 runs. If it wasn't for that, it'd be a 2-1 ball game, but it's 4-1. Here we are. Carlton, the pitch to Stretch. 3-7. Struck him out. 3 straight strikeouts for Steve. That's the Steven we know. 1 down. And here comes Dick Dietz. Dick 0 for 2. Steve is ready. And the pitch to Dick. 2-9. And he struck him out! Carlton gets Dietz. 4th strikeout in a row. Now all the Cardinals need are some goddamn runs. I was never a Cardinal fan. But you know what? Didn't dislike them. They have a strong fan base, don't they? I guess every team has a strong fan base, especially the older teams. You know what I'm saying? Cubs, Phillies go back, you know. Well, here's Ken Henderson. You know what blows my mind is that, let me explain this one to you. The Dodgers and the Giants have been in Los Angeles and San Francisco respectfully longer than the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants existed. Go look that up if you doubt it. And if I'm wrong, well, I did the math. That makes me feel old. 2 out, nobody on. Ken Henderson. Will he be the 5th consecutive strikeout victim from Steve Carlton, who wants no more of this shit? Here's the pitch to Ken, switch hitter batting right. 3-7. Grounds it to second. He got a piece of it. Javier over to Torrey, and the side is retired. So Steven has calmed down, and we're in the middle of the 5th. Man, this is quite a ball game. I don't know the intensity of this ball game and life. What if I were to tell you I'm freaked out? I'm trying the best I can. I just got to calm down. Here's Joe Torre. McCormick, the pitch to Joe. 2-10. He flies it to left. That's for Ken Henderson, and he whales it down for 1 out. And here comes Mike Shannon. Walked and singled. And Mike McCormick, 2-3, grounds it to first, 2 outs. Stretch on the plate. And here comes Byron Brown, 0 for 2 today. In for the groin-injured Lewis Brock. Here's the pitch to Brown. 1-4. Walked him. So, whoa, Brown takes first with 2 outs. 4th walk given up by Mike. And it's Tim McCarver. You know, he just was, I don't know if he was semi-retired these past years, and I saw him in some sort of video just talking baseball with some people, and he looked very old, but I got to tell you, he looked good. He had a very, very, how could I put this? There's a word, if I could find it, about his personality and his way of speaking. A very, very loud, well, I can't think of a word. Maybe rambunctious. Rambunctious. Yeah, I think that might be it. That's the word. Yeah, uncontrollably, I wouldn't say uncontrollably. Exuberant and boisterous. Ebullient. Oh, let me check that out. Learn a lot from Stephen Carrara. Well, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Cheerful and full of energy. And he just, some of them, and you take someone like, because this guy, and I like him, Bob Uecker, because he has made me frickin' laugh my ass off. And he was elected into, I think, some element of the Hall of Fame, and he gave a speech. And there were former baseball players and Hall of Famers who laughed their asses off and had to respect him. The guy was on Johnny Carson like a million times. Funny as shit. I must be in the front row. funny as heck. Meanwhile, back to Tim McCarver with 2 outs and Brown on first. And here's the pitch, 1-10. And McCarver sends it flying into the gap. That's going to be extra bases. A double to center. Brown rounding third with 2 outs. 1-12, 1-14, -3 on Mays, 1-11. He's coming home. And here's the throw by Mays to get Brown at the plate. And he is out. Willie Mays gets Byron Brown. That's the second frickin' time a Giant outfielder has thrown a runner out coming home from third. And the side is retired. What are you going to do? Not let him go? With Maxville coming up, 197? It's a .550 percentage, 1-11. And after 5, it's a 4-1 frickin' ball game. Oh, can you imagine if he knocked in another run, McCarver? He already knocked in the only run. Meanwhile, it's a 4-1 ball game. Lord, have some frickin' mercy. Steven is out, and he's going to face Tito Fuentes. I'm going to tell you something. Not before I get outside and get myself some fresh air while I engage in a very, very self-defeating behavior. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. It's Strat-O-Matic 1969 replay. We're on July 26, 69. In fact, the last game of that date. Giants have a chance to pull within 3.5 of the first place Braves. And the Cardinals here trailing 4-1, hoping to not be 8 games behind the first place amazing Pirates. You know how they had the amazing Mets in 69? Well, this year in my league, the Pirates have a 6-game lead. And you can look at the most updated standing. The Cubs are in second. You could look at the updated standings on the community board at all times. Right after each game, I show you that league. So I alternate. I want to thank you for the community mindedness of coming on here and sharing with me, allowing me to have a place to hang out with people, learn things, and just have a good frickin' time. Like I said, I'm taking a walk. In fact, I need some water. And if you don't mind, this might be an 8-minute break. So I hope you understand. But it's worth it. I mean, you know, I'll be back because I'm, the place is only 60 yards away from me. I mean, door to frickin' door. 60 yards, I would say. I think that's fair. I mean, that's like, don't even count how long it takes. When I come back, I'll have more water. I will have more weed, and we'll get on with this ball game. We actually are hoping to finish before 7 p.m. because I have a special Twitter Spaces called Nighthawks, and that starts 7 p.m. Eastern. guess we would call this back at 6:10. p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, I'll see you then. That's the latest. I'll see you later. Ebullient. Well, we made it back with 2 minutes to spare. Isn't that special? Nice crowd out here at Bush Memorial today. I'll tell you that. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is leaving this ballpark. You remember Bronx Tale, now used can't leave. Four. He's hitting. Okay, Tito Fuentes leading it off in the top of the sixth. Steve Carlton has retired 5 in order after a very, very erratic start to the ball game. Here's the pitch to Tito, and that's a fly to right. Pinson under it, and that's 1 down. Look how clean that is. No X's right there. That'll bring up Hal Lanier. A single and a double for Big Hal. Not known for his bat, really. I mean, 228. But a darn good shortstop. Here's Steve now retiring 6 in order. The pitch to Hal. 3-9. And he gets a base hit to left. Hal Lanier. His 3rd of the ball game. Hal Lanier having a night. Has a run batted in. Doubled home Fuentes. And Mike McCormick steps in. 6 NR. .312 struck him out. That's number 7 for Steven. 2 down. And here's Bobby Bonds, 3 for 3 tonight. Hit the first pitch from Carlton in the ball game. Into the rafters. Singled and scored and singled. Here's Carlton. And the pitch. 3-10. Double 1 to 19. Lord. A double down the frickin' pike. A stand-up double by Bonds off Carlton. Lanier goes to 3rd and holds. Bonds is 4 for 4 today. It's like a dream, everybody. It's like a dream. But there are 2 outs. And Ron Hunt is up. He was struck out twice by Steve. This is a big moment for Steve Carlton, as far as I'm concerned. Here's the pitch to Hunt. 6-5. Struck him out for the 3rd time tonight. And for his 8th strikeout, Steve Carlton. And the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on. He's playing with fire, I'm telling you. And torching it out. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's been an interesting ball game. Just something very, very... Oh yeah, look at that. Look at fucking that. Oh yeah, Bonds needs a triple. Steven Parada. I had honestly, I had one cycle this season. It was Mays, and it was like and he didn't even have that good a year. It was the 2nd or 3rd cycle I've had in my life. I don't remember the others. Well, we'll move to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Maxville, Carlton, and Javier. And I see Carlton coming out on deck. Okay, it's a different game. Here's Dal Maxville to lead it off. That's 1-5, and he walked him. And Steve will come up. I know we have the inclination to pinch hit, but that's based on the way the game is today. Now Steve is a B bunter. We'll make him a C, and we will bunt. And it's a beauty! It's hit back to McCormick, and he can only go to first. So Stephen Carlton does what he's asked to do. Now Maxville on second with 1 out. And here's Julian Javier. Julian 2 for 3 today. Here's the pitch to Julian. 1-7. Fly ball left. Under it is Henderson, 2 down. Henderson bags that. Runners hold. Runner holds. 2 outs now. And Kurt Flood in a clutch situation. And the pitch from McCormick. 4-7. Pops it up to short. Lanier makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, 1 left. And we've gone 6 full of a very, very strange ball game. Just something about it makes me wonder if something very strange will happen. It's a 4-1 ball game, Giants over the Cards. Don't be misled. Don't be frickin' misled with this business. Steve Carlton takes his warm-ups and getting ready to pitch to the Giants in the top of the 7th. It's going to be Willie Mays, Stretch McCovey, and Big Dick Dietz. Triple is hard to get, though, Steven Parada. You know, that's the hardest one to get. You talk about Bonds for the cycle. One of these days, maybe we'll have a no-hitter, people, right? Here's Willie Mays now. Willie 0 for 3, struck out twice by Carlton. Here's the pitch to Mays. 110. He grounds it back to Steve. Throws to Torrey for the out. It's all types of ways to do Strat-O-Matic, people. This is just one of them. And I vary my playing styles. And I understand for some of you, it takes some sort of getting used to. It's one out. Here's Stretch McCovey. Stretch, a pretty quiet day, except he did reach on a two-base error by Steven that brought in 2 runs. That's made all the difference. I mean, otherwise it'd be a 2-1 ball game. Here's the pitch to Stretch. 1-2, and that is hit deep, but at left field, Byron Brown makes the catch. It was hit deep, but playable. 1-3, it would have been gone. So way off. So it's 2 outs, and here comes Big Dick Dietz. If you're out there, we'd sure like to hear from you in text. It doesn't have to be in poetic language or Shakespearean prose or anything like that. Just say hi. Here's Dick Dietz now. Carlton and the pitch. 2-8. And he chops it to short. Maxville over to Torrey, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 by Steve. So Steve's had sort of a, at best, a mediocre game here. And the Giants lead at 4-1. Here's Mike McCormick. Cardinals hoping to get something going here. Pinson, Torrey, and Shannon. Veda Pinson steps in. Ooh, that's a strike called. Pinson, left-handed hitter. McCormick is ready, and that's a strike too on Veda Pinson. Veda 2 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch from Mike. 1-7, struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Mike McCormick. He really got Pinson chasing after a bad pitch. And that's 1 down. And now Joe Torrey is the batter. Here's the pitch from McCormick. 3-7. Pops it up to second. That's for Hunt, 2 down. And Mike Shannon. We can't stop talking about the walk-off 2-run home run off Gaylord Perry to win it 2-0 for Gibson and the Cardinals, Mike Shannon, last night. The electricity, the excitement in the ballpark was outstanding. Holy shit. 4 double plays in 1 game. Holy crap. Holy shit. You know, you have to be a guy who can hit a ball hard. If it's a dribbler, you know what I'm saying? Leon Jones, I think, sometimes had a lot of GIDPs. Well, Shannon at the plate, 2 outs. McCormick is ready. Here's the pitch. 5-6. And he flies it to right. To center, I'm sorry. There's Willie. Makes the catch. Side retired. 1-2-3 for McCormick. Time is running out for the Cardinals. 5-6. Fly to center. 1-2-3 for McCormick. And we're going to head to the top of the 8th. Stephen Carlton still going strong. And we thank you, Kathy Harden, for the retweet on the Twitter post to spread the word about Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. It's going to be Steve Henderson to lead it off here in the top of the 8th. Henderson 0 for 3 today. Giants lead it 4-1. Here's the pitch from Carlton. 4-6. And that is a base hit for Henderson. He really was a better pitcher than this. Okay. Really. So Henderson is on. And here's Tito Fuentes. Tito Fuentes. Tito tripled in the 4th. Came home on Lanier's double. Lots of hitting in this game. Lots of exciting hits. Here's the pitch to Fuentes. 6-8. Grounds at the 3rd, and that will be 2. Shannon to Javier to Torrey. And it's 2 outs, nobody on. For Hal Lanier, 3 for 3 today. That's not like Hal Lanier. A double and 2 singles. Scored a run, knocked in a run. Here's Steve now. 4-5. Swung on and hit deep. Lanier. That's going to be W power, so that's going to be a base hit. His 4th of the day. Hal Lanier, congratulations. Let's look at that again. That was a 4-5. Batting right-handed. End home run 1-4. Well, it's a 3, but against left-handers, that's W power, and even I can see that from here. He had 0, so he shall not hit any in Strat-O-Matic. It's a nice feature. So it's Lanier on first, 2 outs, and Mike McCormick is the batter. .69. He's a lefty. Grounds it to short. Maxville at 2. 11-2. And he throws him out, and the side is retired in the top of the 8th. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. It's a 4-1 ball game. Giants over the Cards. Mike McCormick trying to win it. He'll face Brown, McCarver, and Maxfield. We'll see. I think there'll be a pinch hitter this time for Steve. Here's the pitch to Brown, 5-5. Fly ball center, 1 out. Now the very boisterous Tim McCarver, 2 for 2 with a walk. 2-6. There's a base hit for Tim McCarver. So McCarver on. Here's Dal Maxfield. 175 hitter, but we will let him hit. It's the way they did it. That's what I'm going to do. I make certain judgments of stealing and relieving, but no, this fucker's going to hit. Oh, here's Mike McCormick now. McCarver on first, 1 down. Here's the pitch to Dal, 110, and that's hit deep. Oh my! Dal Maxfield way back. 2-run home run, Dal Maxfield. And it's a good thing we let this fucker hit. Oh, and the crowd is going crazy. Oh, Lord. It's mayhem here in St. Louis. The most unlikely. He hit 2 home runs in real world. But on his card, he's a W all the frickin' way. 110. And you hit it there, but only 1-4. Well, it's a goddamn 4. Now, is this a good game or what? Come on. And suddenly, the Cardinals are within 3 runs. And McCormick is in danger of fatigue. I tell you who's warming. They got some good people in here, people who I trust. I trust Don McMahon, and I have a fondness for Ron Herbal. And tonight I'm having them both warm. If McCormick gets tired, we're going to have a new pitcher for Carlton. He pitched 8. $11 hits. He walked 1, struck out 8, and he allowed 2 earned runs. So on the face of it, it doesn't look so bad, but it's not good. Dave Ricketts will be the pinch hitter. And coming in to pitch next inning, the top of the 9th, will be Dave Justy. Dave Justy. So Steve is through. And here comes Dave Ricketts. I like Dave because he's a switch hitter. I could always use him in a pinch. He hit 273. He only had 44 at bats, but still. McCormick in trouble here. It's a 4-3 ball game. And here's the pitch to Ricketts. 4-5, right-hander, fly ball right, and Bonds hails it down. 1 down, 2 down. I'm sorry. And we move right back up to the top of this order, Julian. Julian, 2 for 4 today. Here's the pitch to Julian. 210. He pops it up to short. And Lanier has it. And that side is retired. But there were 2 runs, and they're a lot closer than they were. On a 2-run home run by, of all people, Dal Maxfield. And after 8, it's a 4-3 frickin' ballgame. I told you I thought there was going to be something spooky about this game. Nothing too spooky yet, because what has happened thus far is not spooky. It's kind of ordinary, but it's exciting. It's just good baseball. And here comes Bobby Bonds. What a frickin' night. Will he get the cycle? It's going to take a triple now. He hit 6 of them. And I see him on the card there. Not many of them. I see that one. That's like no chance. And that's like really no chance. You must get him on the pitcher's cards. There's one, but not much. Dave Justy, let's let Dave Justy take his warm-ups here. Sebastian, so glad to have you. Just read your tweets. Sometimes I fall behind looking at those. I hope you understand, but I read them all. We're heading to the top of the 9th. Dave Justy just finishing up his warm-ups. The Cardinals have come within 1 run here with 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. It's a 4-3 ball game. I mean, you know, after watching the walk-off by Shannon last game, it's all great. It's all good. It's all good stuff. And Dave Justy has come in to not add to the challenge for the Cardinals when it will be Flood, Pinson, and Torrey. I'm standing up now. I can easily roll and keep score. Standing up. I mean, you can see my arm is, you see, coming down from my body. Okay. I'm standing. Dave Justy is ready. Here's Barry Bonds, 4 for 4. 2 singles, a double, a triple, a homer, looking for a triple. Pitch from Justy. Oh, and he struck him out. Justy gets Bonds finally. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, these St. Louis people love to celebrate. Just, here's Ron Hunt. What a game. Ron Hunt with 1 out and nobody on. Here's Justy now. Hunt struck out 3 times and singled off Carlton. 4-4. Grounder to third. That's going to be for Shannon. 18-3. Reroll. 11-3 throws him out. Lord, what a game. I have a 7 p.m. thing, so I want to hopefully finish this out. Okay, 1 out. Here's Hunt now. Pitch to Hunt, 5-6. He grounds to short, 2 outs. And here comes Mays, Justy. 4-8. Base hit up the middle for Mays, his first hit of the game. And here's McCovey now. 6-4. Grounds it to short. Maxville makes the play. And we're going to the bottom of the ninth. This is it for the Cardinals. Mike McCormick has gone all the frickin' way. Yes, he has. And I don't know if you're as tired as he is. We don't know. He let up that 2-run blast to Maxville, but he is holding his own and leading it off Kurt Flood. Here's McCormick now. Pitch to Flood, 1-7. Grounder to second, that's 1 out. Now Veda Pinson. The Cardinals need something from Pinson. It's Torrey on deck. Here's the pitch. 5-6. Fly ball center. Getting under it is Willie Mays. 2 down. And it's all up to Joe Torre. Now he can change this with 1 swing. And you know it. 1-16 on 2-3. Clean on 4. We'll look at it right now. There's McCormick. And the pitch to Torrey. 2-10. Fly ball to left. Under it is Henderson. And the ball game is over. Tough game for the Cards. Final score, Giants 4, Cardinals 3. Star of the game, Mike McCormick, for solid pitching throughout. And you may have yours, and God bless you if you do. It's fine by me, but Mike McCormick, it's Miller time. You pitched a fine ball game, and you won it there in the ninth by retiring the side in order. The win goes to Mike McCormick. He pitched 9. He allowed 10 hits. He walked 5. Struck out 2. And he allowed 3 runs. Justy came in 1 inning. No runs allowed. 1 strikeout. The final line on this ball game, Giants 4 runs on 12 hits and no errors. St. Louis 3 runs on 10 hits and 1 error. Yes, Sebastian Strat, that was the Hunt who got hit by a lot of frickin' pitches. I was talking about him earlier. He struck out 3 times today by Stephen Carlton. So that's going to take care of July 26, 1969. This is the last game. Tomorrow, on the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network, it's the first game of July 27. Montreal with Renko at Atlanta for Britain to close out their 4-game series. And anytime I get to see Hank Aaron and Rico Cardi and Cepeda, it's worthwhile. Also get to watch Staub if he's playing. He's been healthy. This has been quite a ball game. I want to thank you for your patronage. Please stay strong, everybody. Please stay well. If you're freaking out, find a way to cope with it. I was freaking out earlier with depression and worry, morbidly so. I took some actions. Then I took a Klonopin. Then I smoked some weed. And I'm a bit calmer now. Okay, everybody, have a good night.